What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to another episode of CGX Cast. This is episode 56. We are here. We have some stuff to talk about, which I think is going to be really good. We have the CGX members on here. We have most of the CGX Cast. We are missing Ben and Gamer. Ben might hop on later. Gamer might hop on too, so we'll wait and see how that goes. We do have a special guest. He's running a little late, but he should be here pretty soon. Some of you guys might know him as Eddie Player One. So stay tuned to that. I think it's going to be really cool to get his input in the cloud gaming conversations this week. But yeah, so today's episode is going to be quite interesting. We're going to talk about Amazon Luna. As you guys know, one game released, and there's an announcement for a day-and-date release of a AAA game, which should be coming out at the end of this year. So we'll talk about that. We'll speculate a little bit as to what that might mean for Luna, right? We're going to talk about Google Stadia. They didn't really give us much this week, but we do have some discussion piece that we're going to throw in there for Stadia. So that should be quite interesting. We're going to fill in Nintendo cloud gaming in here because they had some news. If you guys didn't know, they held a little Nintendo Direct and give us an announcement of potential games that are coming for Nintendo Switch cloud gaming, or whatever you want to call it. So we'll talk about that. Xbox Cloud Gaming had some games released this week, so we'll be discussing that as well. And then I would say the biggest news this week, I think, was from Geforce Now, which, again, we'll cover all the games that released this week and their big hitter for sure with Kena, however you guys pronounce that game. But yeah, let's get right into it, man. There's so much to discuss, and I think we are going to have an awesome panel to do those conversations. So I want to do something different. If you guys are members, you'll see that you have icons or emojis, if you want to call it that. If you guys support a cloud gaming platform, I'm going to put a poll up here in a bit as to who had the best week. Wrap it, right? So as you can see, I have my GeForce Now shirt on because I think they killed it this week. But let us know in the comments for those of you guys watching if you remember. Put your emojis out, put your Stadia emojis, put your GeForce Now. I'm curious to know what you guys think, or who do you guys think had the best week this week. So it's always fun to just see that going on in the chat. But let's go. Let's introduce the panel, see how these guys are doing, see what games they're playing, and see what platform they're using to play these games on. So to get started, GTP, how are you, sir? And this is not the least best thing. I know,
the best for last, and then I get called on first thing that we last week.
But how are you, sir?
No, I'm doing good. I gotta say, it's nice to sit next to Chief. Man, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So it's awesome that he's on here this week.
Sure.
Yeah, pretty much for me. I mean, you kind of hinted at it a little bit, was Kingdom Bridge of Spirits, which has been the main game I have played since it came out. And that's been pretty much GeForce Now and PS5. I probably would have beat the game easily, but I wound up playing about 4 hours into it on PS5 and about 4 hours into it on GeForce Now. So I haven't finished beating it yet, but I have definitely put in the 8 hours that it should take to do so. And a little bit of Knockout City, here and there, but mostly just Kingdom Bridge of Spirits.
Cool. You said the game takes 8 hours to beat.
Most people are doing it in 8 to 10, depending on how much exploring and taking your time. But if you're just kind of going through the main stuff, I mean, if you really want to knock it out, you could sit down and do it in 8 hours.
Oh, that's awesome. Good to know. Good to know. Might have to beat that now. I'm like 3 hours in, so not too far
to be
off.
honest, I'm kind of getting to where I like games like that. Like I beat Psychonauts, right? Psychonauts. Kane is like 8 to 10. I'm like, ooh, I can beat it, and then I get the urge. Like I'm going to stay on it till I do it. And then I look at a game like Assassin's Creed where I'll be like 100, 200 or more hours, and it's like I got to really decide if I'm going to dive into that. But I'm kind of liking the smaller games right now.
So true. How long did it take you to beat Psychonaut again?
I think that one was like 14 hours for me,
that's
or so.
Doable too. Yeah. As a content creator, man, you appreciate these short games.
Short quality bursts.
Have time to play it. Yeah. Cool. Good to have you on here, GTP. For
Thank
sure.
you.
How about you, Ben? How are you doing, sir? It's good. I like the background, man. Goes with the whole cloud tripping thing,
Thanks.
It looks good.
Thanks.
How are you, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
Oh man, I've been super busy. I haven't been on here much lately. Just life has been a mess lately. Um, but I've been playing. I've been like what Jerry was saying. All these indie games, man. Kana and
Would you call Kana indie?
I would, yeah.
Oh,
It feels
interesting.
indie.
Okay.
It looks indie. It's a small studio. I mean,
Okay. Fair enough.
that and the Artful Escape is a beautiful game as well. Great music in it, as well as a little bit of time into Psychonauts, and I've also been playing some Lost and Random.
Nice. Good selection of games here, dude. Good selection. Always been. I know, we talk under disco and your personal life, there's a lot of movement happening. So I'm
A
glad
lot.
that you're able to join us today, man. Good stuff. Good to have you, my dude. Duncan, how are you, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
I've been doing my usual on absolutely everything. I'm playing a game which I'm not allowed to talk about, which a lot of people will maybe want to.
Probably the game that I'm supposed to be playing right now that I'm not yet. I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Also, I just want to say, Hell Monkey, you're a wee bit early. It's still September. Halloween's next month.
The ghost, the ghost of Hell Monkey.
Or the Invisible Man. Well, here we go. Since we've got things to talk about. Technically, Bungie's an indie studio, so I think there's a lot of talk about what counts as an indie and what counts as other. But indie means independent. It doesn't mean low budget. So you could have
Exactly.
a big.
Indie does not mean the same thing now that it meant 20 years ago.
True.
Yeah. So
Sure.
it's this is why I love gaming, because you can go on off these and all these tangents. But this week, I'll talk about the games I can talk about. I've been playing. I've got sucked back into Slay the Spire, and that is absolute a menace to get sucked back into. I've been back doing my dailies with that, and I had a bit of a play of Football Manager this week as well, getting prepped for a couple of months' time when that drops on the Game Pass. Which is going to be a lot of fun, the new one. And I think I'm going to start a wee series up about that. So it's all good, all good.
Nice. So you're a big Football Manager fan, right?
I used to be. And the bug has got back into me now. I've just seen how much it is actually blowing up now, and how much is getting pumped into it, and the amount of tournaments and things like that going on now, it's just unreal. So I do want to get back into it, and it is just an absolute load of fun. And I'll be trying out my hair out if there's any left playing it. So it's going to be a bit of fun.
Cool. Good to have you in here as always, Duncan. Good stuff. All right, let's connect with the CGX crew chief, man. Whenever we have you on here, it's a special treat, man. And so good to see you, my dude. What have you been playing? What platform?
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's always fun to come on here. It's always good to hear you guys' opinions firsthand and be the most annoying one here for me. I've been playing a game that I can talk about, as I've just jumped off of Halo Infinite, which unfortunately doesn't work on any of the cloud systems. Much to its detriment. So it just will not launch on maximum settings or Shadow. So there must be something with the anti-cheat that's just blocking it right now, which is a bit of an annoyance. But I will reserve my opinions on the game for now. I think it definitely is going to be a lot better in the single player campaign. Multiplayer is interesting. I changed my background because you can probably see what game I'm looking forward to next week. Can't wait for New World to drop. But
I thought that was Ark.
I did do a bit of Ark and some more testing. I don't think Ark will ever look that good, unfortunately. But yeah, there's not many games that I haven't played this week, but Halo Infinite was the one that's just fresh in my mind. But Deathloop was the other one that I did on the cloud. But again, I'm very unpopular for Deathloop because I think it's trash. It's a bad
Ooh.
indie game. But I'll leave it there.
Wow. Okay. Okay. People in the chat, let me know. Have you played Deathloop? And so you, I was that like let's start some ish type comment, Chief, or because IGN is not going to be too happy to hear you say that game was trash, man. They give it a 10 out of 10. What are you talking about, Chief?
Somebody paid a lot of money for that opinion.
Shoot. Here we go. Cool. As always, Chief. This is why we like having you here,
I mean,
man.
just ask Jerry's opinion. I mean, he
Let's
got
hear it, actually.
he got frustrated with Deathloop really quick.
Chief already did it. I'm just sitting here smiling because I'm like, yep, let him say all the stuff I'm thinking. Did not care at all for Deathloop. I was talking to Chief in the chat, and I'm like, I bought this to make multiple videos. I made one. I'm done. I'm not comparing. I'm not playing it on any of the cloud. I don't care. I'm done. And yeah, it's just, he already said it. Not for me.
That's crazy.
I think the reviews are nuts in my opinion, but.
So what IGN though, like they do that. If they give Death Stranding a 7 out of 10, and then they give this game a 10 out of 10. I really don't go a lot by the reviews, honestly speaking. I think Tony Hawk 3, they give it 10 too. I mean, that game was good, but not 10-ish caliber. But anyway,
Out of reference, Ken, I got an 8.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that game is beautiful.
Yeah. But again, that's the beauty with these games, especially like if you have cloud gaming platforms, you can try most of them out yourself instead of go by other people's opinions, for sure. But
when you're looking at game reviews, you need to start following people who has similar taste as you, because everybody's opinion is different. Because my opinion on what a good game is completely different to Hell Monkey, who thinks this stupid, what's it, Tales of Arise is like Game of the Year or something.
Whoa, what?
The near games.
I thought you were going to talk about like some simulator. Tales is a great game, man.
Duncan, I have the permissions to remove you. You will be removed.
God. Tales is a good game.
Yeah, see, but when you're going through reviews, you just need to follow a load of different people to hear what they like about every game. If I started to jump into that game, I would be probably slitting it from here to high heaven because it's not a game for me. But
true,
that's the thing about the opinion pieces. You just need to know who's doing the reviews, because a 10 out of 10 by IGN is who did the review for IGN. You just don't know. Or I don't know. So you just need to keep that in mind when you're looking at these reviews.
True. That's a good point. You gotta make sure that the person reviewing what's that game? I forgot. There's a game that IGN reviewed, and the dude, you can tell, had no interest in the game. I was like, you probably should not be reviewing this game. But yeah, I agree. Good point with that. All right, Ghost of September, if you want to call it that. Hell Monkey, how are you doing, sir?
Mate, I am good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a wee bit. God, heart's slightly broke there for Duncan's comments, but he's been breaking hearts since the day he arrived into our lives. Tales of Arise, guys, I have not played much more. I don't want to keep banging on about it, but it is just such a good game. And the reasons that I was, saying before we came online, I did not expect to enjoy the game as much, but it is literally any spare time, I'm on that game. I did jump into some gas station simulator this week. Damn, what a 3 hours I had with that game on Friday night.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, man. And I did not expect to get that much fun out of that game.
Yeah.
I thought,
same thing
was going to be
with Vet. He played that for a good long time too. He was having a blast.
It's just such. I said in the news video during the week, and one of them anyway, about simulators, how they take the most mundane of tasks and they turn these simulators into, loads of fun. And, from we kids running in and spray painting ducks on the side of my gas station that looked suspicious of like male genitalia. To me managing to sweep up a traffic jam with my magic broom, which seemed to be like Thor's broom or something, man. To ladies dropping bananas in my gas station, not knowing where they came from, and that just ended me, man. If you haven't, I'll shoot the clips on my Twitter. You just need to watch it because it's quite. Some people might find the hand gesture she gave me offensive, but I just did not expect it, and I just lost control, man. So when you lose control while you're playing a game, you know, in fits of laughter, it's hard not to like the game and, you know, speak highly of it. I was just having so much fun. There's so many bugs, all right, but we're not talking cyberpunk bugs here. We're talking, you know, funny bugs that can be fixed and it'll make the game a wee bit smoother. That's been about it this week, though. Loads of fun, which is what it's all about.
Cool.
I will say that phallically shaped duck, or the dick duck, as I called it on your stream, it's pretty funny.
I was watching a little of that stream. I was cracking up, man. I was cracking up. Good stuff, man.
So
Glad
good.
that you're enjoying the game, man. So you have 2 games right now that are really doing it for you with Tales and this one. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff. Like always, fellas, we like to save the best for last. We always save our special. Oh wait, wait. We did you right?
Yes, I've been saving the best for last. Like, come on.
He's saving Eddie for last.
It's Eddie, man. Eddie, always the guest.
Not you, Duncan. Eddie.
What's going on, guys?
What's up? How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, guys. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late.
It's all good. It's all good. Life happens, man. Tell the people what you've been playing, what platform.
I played 1 hour of Kina on my PC on GeForce Now. Then I played maybe another 30 minutes of Kina on my Google TV.
Ooh.
And yeah, no, that has been it. It's a fantastic game so far on the first hour. I still need to spend more time with the game. And I am... Sorry.
So good.
Yeah, and I'm about to jump on the bandwagon of Gas Station Simulator as well. I was supposed to stream it yesterday,
Nice.
but we will find some time either today or tomorrow morning. I am all about simulators as well. I didn't play the Power Wash simulator that Duncan played, but I played some other simulators. But I really enjoy simulator. One of the things that made me go to streaming is because I saw one guy streaming Farming Simulator 17 a few years ago. I said, "Oh my god, that's so cool! I want to do it."
I haven't gone to Bus Simulator yet.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how y'all do all this simulator games, man. Shout outs to you guys. I have no patience for those games, man.
Man, they're a lot of fun, especially if you've had a couple drinks or, you know, maybe on something else. The simulators can be a lot of fun.
There is a fine line in the
Oh,
simulators.
tripping.
Yeah, just quickly changing the subject. There is a fine line in the simulators. So you get the ones like Gas Station Simulator, Power Wash Simulator, PC Building Simulator, Farming Simulator, which can be fun. But then you get ones like, I've tested out a few, Airport CEO Simulator comes to mind. I thought, oh yes, this will be cool, build your own airport. It was a fucking disaster, man. It was so complicated. It was like you were actually running your own business. Like you had to do absolutely everything. I was like, this isn't fun anymore. And then Power Wash Simulator came to the rescue.
I
there's
gotta
a
add to that,
fine line,
Monkey,
man.
because I played Yakuza Like a Dragon on Xbox, that is on Game Pass. It was my first Yakuza game, and then it's a fantastic RPG, but there is one, it has a lot of mini games.
Yep.
And one of the mini games is a business simulator. No kidding, I spent like 30 hours on that business simulator.
Are
Okay,
you
I'm gonna
serious?
get my business to the top of the top, and then I get the money, and the money helps on the rest of the game. But simulators are fun.
Good for
Yeah.
you guys, man. Good for you. And again, we'll talk about GFN here in a bit and how, the weekly release catered to a lot of people. To me, like, you probably won't catch me playing that. But again, I probably will be playing a game like Kenna. But Kenna, jeez Louise, whatever that game is called, I probably will play that over Gas Simulator any day. But shout outs to you guys who enjoy these games. But as far as myself, Eddie, good to have you on here, man. I can't wait to get your input for sure.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been playing a lot of Life is Strange True Colors, man. And man, that game, guys, they leave you with some choices that makes you really think about. I mean, I can't think of the last time, there are games that like Cyberpunk, like, they give you choices, but this one is just like, you really have to think about your decision and it really matters. Like, I'm thinking about playing it again because I heard I don't want to ruin the story for you guys, but I made this decision that made something bad happen to someone, and I heard that can be reversed, and that changes like the whole storyline, the whole dynamic. So it's pretty cool to see how much like your choices matter in that game, and the graphics are beautiful, man. The storyline seems, and the main character is adorable. I'm loving the game, and of course, you guys know Tales is still a game I try to hop back in, and then Kenna is so many good games to play right now. And then every once in a while you have a Rogue Company to bounce back and forth with. But yeah, that's been my gaming session this week for sure. But it's good to hear you guys gaming. It's always good as content creators when, we can just take some time to game for sure. But let's say what's up to you guys who are here in the chat. We got a lot of you guys on here. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining. Maker of Chaos, always on here. One of the first. Appreciate you being here, Victor. Good to see you, Zero for Games. Good to see you on here. Polaris. I always say Polar. I'm going to call you Polar. Good to have you a member. Thank you again. Polar, let us know if you remember which platform you have an emoji that you think killed it this week with the news. So let us know. Monkey, I see you putting Shadow. Why are you putting Shadow? As was that Shadow as your emoji?
Because Shadow's where I play Tails, and Shadow plus Tails, it's a perfect combination, man.
Okay, fair enough.
They didn't do anything. I just love Shadow.
Okay, Shadow's that's good stuff. Rage Quit, what's up, man? It's good to see you on here. Let's see, are we missing anyone else that I didn't say hi to? I'm scrolling. Arnarchies, good to see you for sure. Ben, I see you on here. Sad, good to see you. Eddie, I see you in the chat. Richard, good to see you, my dude. Sleepy Joe, do you what's up, dude? Good to see you in here for sure. Man, good stuff. All right, so let's get right into it. As you guys know, we like to cover the cloud gaming news and just give our input and our take on what we feel and what our thought is on the cloud gaming news. So we'll start with Amazon Luna this week. As you guys know, Luna got one game, Beyond Good and Evil. And I don't know, I'd like to get y'all's take on that. It's not my favorite game, but it's good to see it on the platform. And then the big thing is, Chorus, they got the release date of the game, which is coming in December. And that game, from what we're hearing, should be coming to Amazon Luna. Now, this is a $40 game, correct me if I'm wrong. And I would say it's either a AA, AAA game. And so this has me asking, is this going to be the first game that we see come day and date release to where you can purchase? Or is this going to be a Luna Plus game? So that's something I want to know from you guys. How do you think this is going to show up, and how do you think this is going to be priced? because if it's a Luna Plus game for $40, I mean that's a steal, right? It's almost pushing what Xbox is doing with Xbox Cloud Gaming and Game Pass.
What's the name of the game again, Ace?
It's Chorus. It's
Chorus,
a jet flying game, right?
Okay. Just asking to check the publisher.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm just going to open that up to you guys. Let me know what your thoughts on the Luna news, and let me know what your thoughts about like Chorus and how we're going to receive that on the Luna platform. So to get started, oh gosh, to get started, let's start with you, Duncan. What's your take here? Oh, Monkey, did you want?
Okay, hell, Monkey, you go first.
Go
you
ahead,
get it
Monkey.
out there.
No.
You go ahead.
Because I have a retraction to make. In our recent news video, I do apologise, but I advertised Beyond Good and Evil 2 coming to Luna, which isn't even out yet.
No.
I do apologise, folks. I was as confused as everyone else. I didn't know it was out. When they tweeted it out, I just clicked on the link to see what game it was, and then Beyond Good and Evil 2 Twitter page popped up, and I went, oh, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is coming to Luna. Not even realising it wasn't out. So apologies for that. Apologies for the confusion. I think it's a good game. It's another Ubisoft game. They're starting to fill that library out now. There's more than 30 games available on Ubisoft Plus via Luna. And 30 out of the 100. Just to get that right, Ubisoft, if any of you guys are watching, advertise your service properly. There is not 100 plus games available on Stadia and Luna. There is only 30 and like 21. So stop pulling the wool over people's eyes with dodgy advertising. Chorus, onto Chorus. This is a game I am really interested in. People probably won't know because I made a video about Chorus. Oh God, must have been last year now, about everything that you can expect from the game upcoming. Expected it to be released by now. It's a single player sort of space shooter, story driven. Really, really interested me. Hoping it was going to be what I hoped Everspace was going to be, because I really did not enjoy Everspace. It wasn't what I expected. So hoping Chorus is going to fill that. I'll tell you what though, man. If Amazon Luna pop that into the Luna Plus channel, because you can pre-order it right now, it's £35, which I think is about $45 for you guys. That's an expensive game, and it's being slated as a AAA game. If they can get that day and date, I don't think it is a AAA game. I see Duncan shaking his head there. Probably veering towards a AA. If they can get that in that Luna Plus subscription for $6 a month, that's just insane value. But can they keep it going forward? That's the big question. Will we see more of those types of games? Who knows?
Yeah. Great point. And again, I would like to hear from the rest of you. Start with Duncan. What do you take on the Luna news, and how do you think this game is going to be delivered to the Luna platform?
I think this is going to be Luna Plus. I think that's where it's going. I don't think we're going to enter into the realms of buying games until games start to leave the service, and then we're going to maybe venture into that. Luna's news this week was the Chorus news still hasn't been confirmed by Luna as yet, but it's all over this Chorus's media that it is coming to Luna, but Luna haven't actually done that yet. They really need to get their finger right, I think, to get that promoted out there, because if it was any other platform, we would be saying the exact same. With that coming, it's a AA game. It's not a AAA game. It's a good double. It's a good AA game. But according to some people out there, FIFA's not a AAA game. But we won't go down that rabbit hole. This it's a good game. Going day and date, and this is what we want to be seeing now from Luna, the subscription services, and for the people in the States, that is going to give you something to think about. Will you buy this game now on Luna, which apparently works well? We still have to test it out here. do you subscribe for that game on Luna, or do you go and buy that game on in other places? I'm expecting this to hit GFN as well. I'm pretty sure that would end up there. It seems a good fit for GFN as well. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Beyond Good and Evil, just bulking out that Ubisoft catalog there. We definitely need to see more stuff coming onto the Luna Plus channel. I think a nice big AAA game coming into the holiday sort of season, or a couple of them, will get more people interested there. And I definitely want to hear, when is the retro channel coming?
True. Thanks for your input, for sure, Duncan. Let's check in with Eddie. What's your take on the Luna news this week, man?
I have a similar opinion than Duncan regarding cores. I feel like we already have a game from Deep Silver, which it's kind of everywhere. Metro Exodus, it was just on the screen. And I do think this one's gonna be the case of another day and date game coming to Luna. We already had those with Skateboard, for example. Other than that, the news regarding the other game that Monkey and Duncan mentioned, Dying Light 2. Is Dying Light? No, that's not the name.
Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil 2. That's an interesting game. I classified that game as a AAA. I guess it will probably take a little longer, this one, but it's good. Nothing much to add on the Luna, because the big news was the past few weeks when they launched everything.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be slow pace, I guess, until we hear a big, shocking news again.
True. Good point. Thanks for that, Eddie. How about you, Chief? What's your take on the Luna news this week, man? Earth to Chief.
Like I said, what's Luna? Until it comes to Europe, I really couldn't care what comes
Come to
Luna
Canada
right now. Because it's been nearly a year since it launched in the US, and yeah, I'd love to test it. I'd love to play it, but it's just another one of those services that says that it's coming eventually. So eventually I'll have a great opinion on Luna. But right now, 9 months down the line, I still can't get eyes on anything. So great news for you guys in the US, but doesn't matter over here. Can't use it.
GTP, man. What's your take on the Luna
I knew
news?
that was. I could have gave you Chief's response. I knew that one was coming. But it's true. How can you? It's hard to form an opinion on some of that. Beyond Good and Evil's like, it's great that it got added on there, but nobody's going to care that much. Maybe it's a foreshadowing that Hell Monkey was not necessarily wrong. Maybe he was just early. Maybe we're getting the first game on there because the next game, could be supported on there, and I could see that being the case. As far as Chorus, it's probably nailed on for Luna Plus channel, right? Most likely. However, I'm starting to wonder if Luna wants to stay in beta in the US until more's done. Like, we may even have a storefront and purchasable games and other things happening before they even expand, because with all the news they put out with the couch play feature and everything we got a couple of weeks ago, that was a big drop of news, and we're still in beta just here in the US.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like they're wanting to continue building the service to some kind of a set point before they even worry about expansion. So I would not be surprised if it didn't go to the Luna Plus channel and they actually did wind up with some kind of purchasability that happens by December, still only in the US, and by the time it rolls out globally next year, or who knows when, maybe it's more fleshed out. Maybe it has a lot more features ready to go. I'm not sure what their plan is, but the more news they drop, the more features they drop. I wouldn't be surprised for 4K just to show up one day. From some of the stuff I'm seeing, it's just going to be like boom, and we're still going to be in beta in the US only when that comes out. I'm almost certain. So I don't know. It's just interesting to see where it goes. I think Chorus could land either way, but I'm starting to look at Luna a little bit differently. I'm starting to think they want to build the service much, much bigger just here in the US, working well before they even start pushing it. So anything could happen.
Yeah, that's a good point. And let's not forget how long GFN was in beta, right? Before they came out. So, I mean, to them, we'll talk about Stadia in a bit and the whole, family email that most people got. But to them, really, the competition is not looking so hot. I'm just going to be 100% real. So, like, why rush things, right? While they can just embed it, bait and perfect things, right? So, not saying that they should, but if you don't truly have competition, then you can pretty much take your time, which sucks for you guys in UK and us actually, because I would like to see more stuff happen faster. But you make a good point with that, GTP, for sure. How about you, Monkey? What's your take here?
You already got me, mate. Did you not?
Did I?
Yeah, because I had to make that retraction.
Who didn't I get? Sorry, Al. Oh yeah, that's right.
Didn't get me, but
Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
honestly, I hadn't even had a chance to look at these games yet. While you guys were talking, I was looking up like gameplay videos and trailers and stuff. Chorus looks, I could see myself enjoying that. Good and Evil. It looks like I could get maybe a couple hours out of it before I might get maybe bored or overwhelmed or whatever from it.
Okay. It looks fun. But I don't know, like I think it might need a multiplayer, man. I don't know, but we'll see how the game turns out. Somebody here, I'm trying to find the quote, had a question about your beard, Ben. How do you keep it so pristine?
Chris did, and I answered it in the chat.
Okay, cool. All right, great. Did we get everyone's take on Luna before we move on? Okay, so my take personally with Luna is like I think most of you guys hit in the head. This after the dear 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago news with the family channel and all, they just coasting right now. I would like to see them be more aggressive, right? But it's just the reality of things, like GTP was saying. They're just gonna roll with this beta and take their time with it, which sucks for us consumers. But hopefully, the end result is a product that as cloud gamers we can be proud of. We can look at it and say, okay, this is what we hoped for them to achieve with it, and let's see. But yeah, let's move on to actually. I'm gonna shift things up a little bit. We're gonna slip a contender in our show notes. So let's talk about Nintendo Cloud Gaming. This is not our show notes, kind of improv. But as you guys know, they held a Nintendo Direct this week where I would say not my favorite Direct. We did get some Bayonetta 3 showcasing, which is flipping awesome. Big fan of that game. But realistically speaking, though, I felt like it was a lackluster. But in this event, we got news that Dying Light 2 was going to be coming to Nintendo Switch Cloud, if that's the name. And this is big because, again, we know Stadia is not getting this game. GFN is getting it. We haven't truly heard anything from Amazon Luna or Xbox Cloud Gaming. So right now, it stands that GFN and Nintendo Switch Cloud Gaming are probably the only two platforms that will see this game arrive in the cloud. And some of you guys were talking Discord, talking about like Nintendo actually has been making some moves in the cloud gaming space with Resident Evil being there, Control being there. I believe a Tomb Raider game. I correct me if I'm wrong. But they've been making move, and we haven't been giving them recognition. So just want to open this up to you guys. What's your take on them getting Dying Light 2 and 1 in the cloud? I don't know if one's in the cloud, but I know two's coming to the cloud. And then what do you see moving forward with Nintendo and cloud gaming? Do you think this is something they're gonna continue to invest in, bring in AAA third-party games to the Switch with cloud gaming? And also, do you guys think that they might eventually start putting the first-party games on cloud with the Switch? So we'll open this up. We'll start with Duncan. What's your take here with Dying Light 2 come to the Switch? And also, where do you see Nintendo Switch Online Cloud, whatever you want to call it, going in the future?
Nintendo Switch Cloud, we'll call it that.
Yeah, that's good.
Nintendo, I watched Direct. Come on, everybody was bound to love that Direct, especially for the Mario announcement. That was absolutely amazing. The Mario movie, all the people going to that was just absolutely.
Am I the only one who thought that was a live action?
I did too. Yeah,
no, it's animated, but
I was wait, live action? No, and then people okay, it's animated.
But it's got Jack Black and Chris Pratt and a bunch of other famous people, and I mean, it looks good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Duncan.
No. I forgot to mention as well. First, start talk. I think I'm going to be saying this for everybody here. It's absolutely great to see you back, and congratulations. This is the first time I'm seeing you in person since your little.
Miss you, Duncan. I miss fighting with you.
That is
yes,
true.
I know everybody likes fighting with me, but yes, it's great. It's great to see you back, and congratulations and all that.
Yeah.
The Nintendo in the cloud, I think they're just going to be supplementing their games going forward. They're going to be dropping these big games, and I think they were hoping Dying Light 2 was going to hit the date it was meant to be coming out later this year rather than slipping into next year. But they are playing it the right way, I think, for them. They know they can't. The Switch isn't powerful enough really to get these big games there. I know there's been some absolutely amazing ports there, but with us moving into next gen, I think it's probably easier for them to push it into the cloud. And then remember, they've got the other one coming, which we got confirmed earlier, what we were discussing about with Guardians of the Galaxy coming this year. So both Nintendo and GFN have that coming, and that's a good get there. Nintendo, I'm going to make a confession here, and people are going to make fun of me because I've actually started playing my Switch again this week, and I have got sucked into Zelda, and I've been knocking a fair bit of Zelda out there, and I've been having a load of fun on the Switch as well. But I'm absolutely happy that Nintendo is going down this route because that just gives us another platform to talk about, which is great to see. But Nintendo first-party games going into the cloud, I don't see that happening for a while yet.
Cool.
What was that?
Is that me?
Sounds like construction or something.
That's weird.
Jerry, name that tool.
It's a chainsaw, Jerry.
Sound like a freaking horn from here.
Yeah, that's. I don't know if that came from my end. But okay, thank you for that, Duncan. And again, yeah, like you were saying, it's exciting because it gives us, more to talk about when it comes to cloud gaming. They're making more moves than I would say Sony's making at this point. But let's move on to GTP. What's your take on Nintendo, and where do you see them going with cloud?
So a lot of people don't know because I don't put a ton of Nintendo content on my channel, but it's something that has been like a huge part of my life forever, since like 1986 when I started with Nintendo. My Switch is always near me. It's always here. Control, Hitman 3, and A Plague Tale: Innocence are the 3 cloud games that I've bought and played a good bit on the Switch and tried out. They've been really good. There's no way those games could have come any other way. And even though, like Duncan said, there have been some pretty decent ports, you got to use that loosely. 540p 30 FPS on the lowest possible graphic settings you can imagine is not great. You get games like Wolfenstein and Doom and stuff that they brought over, but I would have rather have had cloud versions of those, with what I've been seeing of these other games. So Guardians of the Galaxy and Dying Light 2, I'll definitely also be grabbing up. And to be specific too, it's not so much Nintendo or Switch cloud gaming. They're not headed anywhere near having like a cloud platform that you could log in on a PC or a phone or something and play your Switch games. That's probably either never going to happen or nowhere near. This is more like what we talk about a lot of times, where publishers may start doing things like leasing Stadia tech or something and putting their title as a cloud version, as a cloud, you buy it for the same price, $60, and you're always streaming it. There's no download option. So Nintendo is just kind of even though they're usually behind like on stuff, they're kind of ahead of the game here with how they're approaching some of these titles, because there's no way this old hardware from like 2013, 2014, when they started designing this thing, could run any of these games. So the cloud games, the cloud versions of these games coming to Switch is definitely something to watch, and I'll be grabbing those up. It was also a really good thing they did. Dying Light won't be on cloud, but they were able to port that game over, and for $50 you're going to be able to get like the physical edition or whatever, and it's every single DLC, everything you could get for the game, and that's October 19th to get you ready for the February release next year for Dying Light 2 on cloud only. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought it was really exciting to see.
That's great. That's great. How about you, Ben? What's your take on Nintendo again, Dying Light 2, and what do you think the future of cloud looks like for them?
Honestly, like what Jerry said, Nintendo, they're good at making a lot of Nintendo Switches for an affordable price that people are willing to pick up and pay. And unless they pour a ton of money into hardware, which they've never really done, cloud is going to be the only way they can get really powerful games on there.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that they're working on doing that. I mean, it's the right move. It's the way to get people to keep playing Switch and keep buying them while still getting new games that are current and relevant.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. Just want to know, going back to GTP real quick, I know you've tested some of these games out. Performance-wise, do they hold up? I mean, like, would you recommend actually buying Nintendo Switch cloud game? I haven't tested it personally. And
So-
Chief, maybe you can talk to this too, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think there's I wouldn't say go grab a Switch just for cloud gaming. Like if you're a cloud gamer, you're looking at 3 or 4 titles in the US right now on there that you can get, and then 2 more coming October and next February. So while it's exciting and Nintendo's leveraging that to help going forward, it's not like all of a sudden you're going to see like Far Cry 6 and Riders Republic and Call of Duty and all these games coming to cloud and all, it's still very limited. It's still a great idea, and I can see where they're headed with it, but I wouldn't say just like go out and buy a Switch just for cloud. But if you have one, it sure is exciting that games you thought you would never play, you're going to be able to play there. Now, performance-wise, A Plague Tale Innocence was my best. Like, I actually played a good bit of that game on there. It ran really well. Control for me was a bit of a hot mess, but I did try it again the other day, and for whatever reason, it was working better. But when it launched, it was pretty rough. I do have some videos up for those, and then Hitman 3 was like again in the middle. It was very hit and miss on that one, but it seems like it's getting better and better with each title, and they're kind of like drilling down on how to get it to perform the way it should. And like I think Capricorn 1 was saying, the Wi-Fi is horrible in the Switch. It is. The original Switch is not built for great Wi-Fi. It downloads horrible, and that's part of the problem with the cloud. And I think that's another reason why you see the Switch OLED coming. It has Wi-Fi 6. It has much improved Wi-Fi in that version. So I can't wait to try that out, because I'll have that model on when it launches October 8th to try all these cloud titles on and compare it side by side to the launch Switch and show everybody if there's a difference with that Wi-Fi. So that's something I'm getting ready for.
Bro, can't wait for that vid, man. GTP, man. I love what you do with those things. So it's gonna be cool to check that out for sure. How about you, Chief? You've tested some of these games out in the cloud. Thoughts?
I think if you've got a Switch already, it's fantastic. But if you've got access to GeForce Now, you've got a much better option available. But obviously potentially not as portable, but now you can play on both iPhone and Android. So I think the phone versions on GeForce Now outdo the Switch. But if the Switch is your main console, then they are great gets. But one of the things, as I think it was Maker of Chaos said earlier, which I highlighted, not all of the 7 cloud games are actually available outside of Japan. So only Control, Hitman 3, and A Plague Tale Innocence, I think, are actually available for the rest of the world. So those other nice titles like the Resident Evil and stuff are only available in Japan. So they are getting better. What I do see it as, and you kind of touched upon this, is the games that maybe the publishers said we're not porting, it's not worth it, are going to be coming to Switch, because they're going to say, okay, that's fine, take your PC version of the lowest settings and use our cloud offering instead. And lo and behold, suddenly it is available on the Switch with a lot less effort from the publisher. So I think Hitman 3 was definitely a test, and so was Control. What I take from Dying Light 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy coming is that worked. It was successful. People bought them. People have been playing them. Therefore, you're going to see more and more of those games coming to Switch in that manner for the ones that don't want to stump up the cash and make the beheaded ports, should we say, of certain games that come to Nintendo. So hopefully the OLED does give a bit of a quality boost so that the cloud stuff works a little bit better, because it does seem like I only have a Switch because it was great for the kids as an entry console, but now we got the Series X. I doubt I'll ever update the Switch because the games that they want
I'll
to
buy it
play
off you.
are mostly on there. With the exception of one of my kids is now into Pokemon, which might end up making me buy another Switch.
Is
So we'll see how it works.
Pokemon Unite?
Well, they're just getting into that age where he started following it. My eldest couldn't give a damn about it, but my
No.
youngest is
I
really
asked
into
if it's Pokemon Unite.
That's the
game,
one. That's the
Pokemon.
mobile one. The MOBA game.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
The new MOBA Pokemon.
It,
It's,
it just hit Android.
They haven't
this
got
week.
phones. They're
It's
they're
been
not
on
that
that.
old.
It's been on Apple for like 3 months now or something.
But that's
Oh
the
my
only thing that
goodness.
might make me upgrade the Switch. But yeah, I think the cloud offering is definitely getting a lot better. It's not on par with the other services, but as I said, if you've already got a Switch and that's your main way to play, it's a great way to play those games.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Man, when it comes to Pokemon, I don't know what's what these days, man. I did Pokemon Go for a little bit when they released the mobile, but now it's just I can't keep up, man. I can't keep this.
Kid likes it, but I'm sorry, I refuse to pay 40 quid for Pokemon Sword or Shield for the Switch. It's just when I can buy a PC game, that's worth 40 quid in my opinion. I just really struggle with paying 40 quid for the quality of the Switch. That's my main hang up.
Honestly, that's the main reason I haven't bought a Switch, is because the games cost just as much as an Xbox game or a PC game that's, double or triple A, but they're not the same level of graphical quality. And I'm just like, it didn't cost that much to make those games. Why do they cost so much to buy them?
But man, Nintendo first party exclusive still, that Breath of the Wild.
Monopoly.
man.
I think that's all it is they've got the monopoly and they know people that will pay it.
people say Nintendo, just do Nintendo and they will be fine.
Yeah, that's true. Sure. Eddie, let's get your take, man. Where do you see the Switch Online going, and what's your take on Dying Light 2 coming to Nintendo Switch Online Cloud?
I tried Control on the Switch when it launched.
Okay.
It was pretty good. It was very interesting I didn't heard I think it was the first concept of the cloud on North America for the Switch. But this is more like, hey, we got these games too, and people who own Switch sometimes, mostly of the times, the Switch is the second console. They have a PS4, they have an Xbox One, and they have a Switch. Sometimes they have the latest gen and a Switch. I know just a handful of people that has a Nintendo Switch only. And those people are mostly, as Chief said, related to the first party games that Nintendo has. So these cloud ports to the Switch, I feel like is just to say, I don't know, let's test this, let's test that, let's see how the market reacts. But I don't feel like Nintendo will ever approach like, okay, now we're gonna do something kind of big for cloud in the Nintendo.
Okay. Fair enough.
Pokemon Cloud coming soon.
Yeah.
Gosh. How about you, Monkey? What's your take on this, and where do you see Nintendo going with cloud?
So I'm not going to say anything bad about Nintendo, Jerry. You're fine. I'm not going to upset you. Listen, I think everyone's covered it. I'm just thinking now, I haven't played Nintendo since the Nintendo 64. That was the last time I played Nintendo. Yeah, mate, I got my PlayStation and I never looked back. So I think it's a win-win for Nintendo in the sense that they get to test out, how they can improve and, bring these games that publishers and developers don't want to port via the cloud. They get to test that out while offering their already loyal fan base, hey, look, you can play this game here now. Rather than having to buy a next-gen console or a PC. They're just like, hey, you can have the latest games as well as your Nintendo, first party. Which is, as I say, it's a win-win. The only thing that worries me, I was just looking at the new Switch that's coming out, the OLED, and if Tech Radar's website is correct, it only has Wi-Fi 5 chip in it.
6.
Is it definitely a 6?
They have an Ethernet port now.
They do. Again, I think a cloud gaming is a huge focus for them with this.
That's good then. Tech Radar, update your website. You're wrong. Hopefully you guys ain't winding me up. So that was going to be my next thing. I see the guys in chat have alluded to it. The Wi-Fi card isn't the best, and I can get on board with that absolutely. It's just interesting. I was really keen earlier to talk about Nintendo and where they're going to go with the cloud. I'm like, guys, should we be covering this? Like, is this going to take off? Are we missing out here? But then, yeah, it rolled back down. I remember that we had covered Control. Jerry's played it as well, and it wasn't the best. So a slow burn. They don't need that, but they can now have the added bonus of bringing these games. Like, I think Guardians of the Galaxy will be a massive game on cloud for the Switch. I think that just fits into the sort of genre and the type of game that Nintendo gamers like, if that makes sense. Dying Light 2, not so sure, but to get a brand new game on there is great. Nonetheless, I am looking for a Nintendo Switch right now. If anyone has anything for sale, hit me up. Because I have everything else. I might as well get a Nintendo Switch these days, see what I've been missing out on and keep Jerry happy too.
Yeah, interesting take. Who else haven't we covered with this topic? Everyone. Great. All right. So my take on this, I think this is good. I know we'll probably never see Nintendo's first-party studio games on here, but if that ever becomes a thing, it'll be awesome. But if you own a Switch, like a lot of you guys have been saying here, this is a way, again, a lot of the complaints that people get is the Switch is too underpowered to handle big AAA games, but this solves that problem in a way. And it's going to be quite interesting to see if moving forward, the ports continue to improve and to get better. I can see this being a good solution for them to get AAA games that normally you wouldn't be able to find on the Switch on there. The beauty of cloud gaming, right? Being able to play this AAA games on an underpowered device. So it makes sense, and it's going to be quite interesting to see what they continue to do with this. I think Cyberpunk would have been that game that kind of showed the power of cloud. I know some of you guys here are not the biggest fan of that game. I get it. But again, you see what that game did for Stadia, right? Imagine if Nintendo worked to get that on there and just be like, hey, Switch can handle Cyberpunk too, right? That would have been a good move by their part. But yeah, finding like a big graphically intense game to showcase that, hey, this can run in the Switch, I think should be what they aim for. Just to show people like, hey, take us seriously when you're thinking about AAA games as well. But yeah, good move overall. Let's see where they continue to take this for sure. Anyone else want to add to Nintendo before we move to GFN?
Yeah, don't get Cyberpunk. That gives your platform all matters of lost false hope. Sorry.
What is up with you in this game, dude?
Hey, I held off buying it as much as possible, and then it was $10 at Best Buy one day. I was like, all right, I'll get it for $10.
Dang. That game
Not
is
even worth
fun.
it. Not even worth it.
Wow. That game it's actually pretty good. Yes, it has
I've
bugs.
bought a
but
Stadia Premiere Edition and I got a free Cyberpunk.
There you go. There you go.
I've
So
only got 90 hours in Cyberpunk, so must be trash.
so
I have like 50 hours in the game, but I still hate it because it's nothing like what it's supposed to be.
did you beat it though?
I've completed it twice on
Twice.
a Street Kid and not Corpo, the other one. What's the other one?
So I only have 12 hours in that game, man. But
See, you've not played it enough to hate it yet.
But-
That's why.
it's fun though, guys. It's real. I'm having a good old time. I gotta get back to playing it now, actually.
Ace, you were talking about what you have been playing, which was
Life is
Life
strange.
is Strange.
Oh man.
Talk about Decision. You made me remind me. I've played Detroit Become Human 2 times.
That's the game. That's the game I was thinking about. Yes.
Because exactly that. I did one playthrough and then a second playthrough. No,
Yeah.
the second playthrough I'm gonna be evil. So I went and taking all of the bad decisions as possible
Yeah.
to be as evil as possible.
Yeah.
So interesting that if you thought about that game, I might be giving it a try.
You should. Did you ever play the first one?
No, Life is Strange.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I need to.
So if you, I did see you streaming Detroit, and Detroit was one of my favorite games too. And I think if you like Detroit, you should give this a look, man. Decisions, man. Again, games that really prioritize with your decision making is really cool, and this one is huge.
I got 16 hours on Cyberpunk.
Who you?
Yeah, that's not that bad.
It's not bad. 12 hours is not bad either. Hell monkey. All right, let's keep moving. You can tell. I think in about 4 hours you can tell if a game is good or not. I like the game. 12 hours in.
The fact that I didn't make it to 4 hours on Deathloop says something.
Gosh. All right. let's move on. All right, GFN, man. Jeez Louise, is this platform. Like we joke about this, right? Let's look at the release for this week alone. Beyond Contract, Canna, Shelter 2, World War Z, Sable, The Escapist, Dawn Project, EVE Online, Gas Station Simulator, Miscreated, Professional Fishing, Zenka Zero. I mean, we had 5 day-and-date release. And one, I would say, double to AAA game in Canada. If you compare this to the other cloud game platforms, this is insane, guys. And these guys have been consistent with releases. And it doesn't look like it's going to be slowing down. Again, if Dying Light 2 didn't get delayed, there would have been another game they would have got. But they are also getting Guardians of the Galaxy. By the way, if you guys haven't seen the latest previews for that game, I advise you to check it out because that game is looking real impressive. So GFN, I would not call this week a weak week. I would say this, compared to the competition, it's actually pretty impressive. But it doesn't stop there. There are other games on here too. Again, Team 17 stuff, games like Shelter 2. What's the other games that they made? All these other kiddie-ish games that Overcooked and all that stuff. All those games are available. But man, good stuff for GFN. But just want to check in with you guys, get your feedback on the GFN news, and just see where your hype level in the chat too. I think I'm going to look at the polls, but it looks like GFN is taking the polls, so that's pretty accurate. But let's start with Ben with this GFN. What's your take on the GFN news this week,
I mean, the ones that caught my eye was, Kena Bridge of Spirits. I mean, that game's amazing. Having that on there alone, just that's a win. They didn't have to have anything else but that, and to me, I'd say it was a good week.
Yeah.
Professional fishing, the fact that it's a free game, that's awesome. One more that nobody has to pay for. Gas station simulator. Everybody that's playing that is having a blast with it. I've watched multiple people stream that game, and they're all having so much fun with it. And then World War Z having Aftermath. I mean, that's a lot of people love that game. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good week for GFN. There wasn't really any bad games on there that I would say.
Yeah. And again, we talked about catering to different gamers. I mean, these games you can say cater to multiple gamers. So shout out to them. But let's check in with GTP. What's your take on the GFN news this week?
We expected it to be a strong week. It's been a strong month, and really been enjoying GeForce Now a lot since we got over the dry period. I want to say a shout out to Sable. Support for Xcloud and GeForce Now, and I'm seeing a lot of people enjoying that game. So that's like a little gem in there on the day and date releases. A pretty cool little game, and they seem really cloud friendly. I don't think that came to Stadia, right? There's been no announcements for that, or
the only place I've seen it is Xcloud and Xbox.
He's just saying, don't talk
that's
about
a
it.
fun game, though. I was playing that last night for a good hour or two.
It was a nice one to see on there. So I was like, wow, they put this on Xcloud, they put it on GeForce Now. You can grab it on Epic or on Steam. So this developer wanted you to be able to get access to that game, which was really cool. And of course, everyone's going to say Kingdom Bridge of Spirits. Put in a lot of time to that. What I think is really cool about that game, though, I'll just add a small different spin, is that's a console exclusive to PS5.
True.
So you can't play it on Xbox or anything like that. If you don't have a PC or whatever, you have a Shield TV sitting on your desk or your Google TV or whatever you use for GeForce Now. You're playing a console exclusive on your TV with Kina. So really, really cool there that they put it like being able to play that in the cloud really I think open up a lot of doors for more people to be able to play that game, which is good for that developer. I hope that Kina does well enough that there's a sequel, because I like the game enough. I want it. I want to finish beating this one, and I know I'm going to want another one.
True. Good take on that. How about you, Chief? What's your take on GFN news for this week?
Yeah, it's a solid week. Like I said, 5 day-and-day releases. It's just, I think that's the most that we've seen in a single week for GeForce Now to date, actually. And I know we probably can't say the full thing, but their target is so aggressive now on a weekly and monthly basis. There is no sign of them slowing down. And we also know that the backlog of games wanting to be added to GeForce Now is also continuously growing to the point that they can't keep up. So it's really good to see GeForce Now, getting that momentum again. And Kina is just, it's getting such good press. And funny enough, something just clicked as GTP was speaking then. I'm wondering if the reason why Edge is blocked is because there are some PS5 console exclusive games on GeForce Now via the PC version. And with what's just happened with the Edge browser on Xbox Series X and S being able to play Xcloud and Stadia, they've been blocked from playing PS5, because technically you could have then played Kina, a console exclusive, on the Xbox Series X.
I was dying to make that video playing Kina on a freaking Xbox Series X. It ticked me off. It didn't work.
So I'm wondering if that's some extra clause that's been put in there. And I wonder when we will see GeForce Now unblocking the Edge browser, if that's going to be after those console exclusives maybe time out. So
Chief,
something
just
to watch
to add
out
to
there.
that, we had once a game, I won't recall the full name of the game, but it was a Lego game coming to GeForce Now and would not run on Android. It would run on PC and on iOS.
Yeah, well, we also have the same thing with Fortnite, is it's blocked from playing on GeForce Now on mobile, but it's fully playable on the PC version, because it's
Interesting.
for whatever reasons, they don't want you to play that on mobile, because it was obviously blocking the Fortnite mobile stuff, which
Interesting that you can still play on a MacBook.
Yeah. So GeForce Now, I think, is making huge waves, and I know they had potentially bad press with this big games list, but I don't think that ended up bad in any way, shape, or form, because it just showed that there's so many games that people want to use or trying to use on GeForce Now, that, or that they've got another revenue stream that means that this public sector gaming is not going anywhere because they are well bolstered. So I just see GeForce Now growing, and I can't wait to see when they actually bring in some hardware upgrades, because I'm seeing loads of tech reviews and things of A6000s, RTX 5000s, all these new server GPUs that are starting to flood into data centers. So we can just hope that there's going to be some GeForce Now upgrades soon.
Can I say something? Did you see how fast they responded to that bad press, right? The leak came out, right? And in about a day, or I would say no less than 48 hours, came and addressed the situation instead of leaving people speculating, right? Like what's going on with all these games that they come out. Shout outs to good press, good way to address that situation. But yeah, okay. Duncan, did we get to you in here with GFN news?
Yeah, I haven't yet, but I will go for it. I think it's
yeah.
a good week for GFN. The Kena. Hopefully, I'm saying it right. Helmonkey he'll get the whip out and start yelling like he likes doing. Was the cherry on top. I think the gas. What's it, the gas station simulator was a real good get. Yes, I know. How can it be gas when it's a liquid? Don't go into that. We're not going down that rabbit hole. No,
It's gasoline.
I was talking with Hellmonkey about that on his stream earlier this week. It's like gas is short for gasoline. It's a chemical compound. It's not gas as in the gaseous, substance.
Yes, I was playing. I think that was a real good get because that has been blown up on Steam. There was like 20,000, 30,000 people being simultaneous players of that over the last week, and that was a near day and date release, as I say. So I think it's been a good week. We'll touch on something which I think probably needs to be touched on with the kind of stuff. And a couple of us were there when they were discussing it about how long it actually took to come onto the platform. We got to hear how this actually happens, and they. For GFN, they have to wait for the game to go live on Steam or or on Epic before they can populate it, and they do the porting themselves. So that is sometimes why there's a bit of a delay, and they are trying to get that work done. So I think that is worth saying. I want day and date releases to be day and date releases, and I think we all want that. One thing I'm going to talk about, and it's for Luna as well. I forgot to mention this. For Luna and GFN, they are out there and they are really pushing the big streamers at this moment in time. They've been promoting to No Eddie has been retweeted when No Meg has as well, but they're actually going after some of these big major players out there as well. So they are definitely pushing their service forward, and that's another thing I think they should be commended for as well as Luna.
Well, I know GFN has been taking care of a lot of streamers. I know Xcloud Gaming, his computer broke down, and they sent him like new computers to make sure he could keep streaming. Yeah, like they're taking care of their people.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eddie.
These are just to add to that because we have this community around the people that we know here that basically we came out together initially from Stadia, and then we pivoted to a little bit more. So we have this small community of cloud gamers. But there is what GFN and Luna is doing. They're pushing their services to communities that are not cloud gaming communities. Are communities around either the streamer or because of a specific game that this streamer does. The strategy that GFN is doing, I absolutely love it. Doing partnership streamings or sponsored streams with streamers. Luna, I still don't get it because I don't feel like they were on a phase to push to new streamers. I feel like they need to first expand the service to more countries, and then all right, now let's try to get more people to see, because it looks like it's US and the rest.
Yeah,
I think that
love it.
what Luna is trying to do is trying to raise awareness. Like they want to get people wanting it before they push it out, which is the opposite of what Stadia did, where nobody really wanted it and they pushed it out, and people had to try and promote it afterwards. Where you
Yeah,
get Luna and you get all these big streamers using it, and everybody wants it, but they can't have it, which makes them want it even more. So when it
yeah.
does roll out, everybody's going to jump on it, and that's kind of their hope. I think from a marketing standpoint.
But the thing is, they kind of proved it recently, right, with the Prime deal, again for the US only. But all Amazon needs to do to make people want it and to
Yeah.
raise awareness is drop a Prime deal. And
Yeah.
how many millions of people are going to suddenly
Yeah.
get an email going, hey, come and try this service free for a few days? They're going to go, yes, please.
So I personally believe Luna is. You guys are gonna see when they turn that switch on, it's gonna be a problem. Right now, GTP kind of said it earlier. They're just coasting. They're just trying to get all the ish together, and then they're gonna flip that switch. That's where you see marketing. I mean, it's if you're a Luna fan, you have nothing to be worried. I used to be worried, but seeing that they're working on things in the background and seeing the reach that they have, I'm not even concerned at all.
But that's the more frustrating thing for me, is because, a load of the cloud gaming services that we test and who are struggling to grow have that global reach because they are on AWS. They are AWS machines,
Yeah.
which is exactly what Luna is. It's just bespoke. Well, it's just custom ROMs on AWS machines. So they have that global reach. They could very, very easily just turn it on in the other data centers. It's just the unwillingness to do so that frustrates me.
They have a plan. They have a roadmap. It's going to be quite interesting to see, whenever they're ready to unveil that, what that's going to look like. But
One thing's for sure, they're not short on cash.
absolutely.
It's like I said, they're controlling supply and demand. If you hold back the supply, there's going to be more demand. So when you do release it, everybody's going to want it and jump on. It's a psychology thing. The more you
Or they'll
can't
miss the
get
boat
something, the
and
more
nobody
you
will care anymore.
Yeah.
That's the dangerous part.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's because the truth of the matter is, you look at their YouTube channel, they only have 2,000 subscribers last time I checked. I think they just again getting started, man. I think they know what they have. I think they know what they're capable of, and I think they're not too concerned. Again, the biggest competitor is looking like trash. So to them, like, why put the pedal to the metal while we can just perfect things and go at our own pace?
Do you guys know how many games are on the Luna Plus channel?
Count it up. If you have Ubisoft Plus and the family channel,
removing that, because Ubisoft Plus is the Ubisoft channel.
It's like 70 or 80 on Luna Plus, but on Luna in general, if you have everything, it's like 140 between the family and Ubisoft Plus. So if you have all those subscriptions, you get
maybe they are waiting for having more number of games on the Luna Plus channel, because hey, don't try our services starting at $5.99 and you get 100 plus games.
Yeah. And I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm not too impressed with the games in Luna Plus. I'm just gonna be real. I have the service and I hardly use it because I'm just like not gonna. They need more games to entice people. Maybe some people are, but me specifically, that is the last platform I go to because they just don't have the games I want. So, Eddie, you might be onto something. Maybe they're working on bringing more games. All they have to do is bring more channels, bring Capcom, bring EA. Like that would solve that problem. But maybe that's what they're working on. I don't know. But
I've mentioned this before, but they're taking the Switch approach with the type of games they're putting on there. They know that their best bet with Prime members and Twitch people is going to be like casual games.
Casual family games.
So
yeah.
that's what they're loading their library with primarily. They don't have a whole lot of like games where you're going to invest 70 to 100 hours in. It's all like 10 to 20 hour games, or you're just going to keep playing them on repeat. You can tell that's the direction that they're going, because it works with Switch. So why not work with Amazon?
Yeah. True. We'll wait and see. A lot to speculate, and that's what makes this play. I know it's a headache for some people, but the possibility of Luna right now. Again, I feel like the issue Stadia did is they played their hands early, man. They put it all out there. And again, look at this couch co-op feature. It came out of nowhere, right? And that feature, again, I demoed it. It's simply awesome. It's really cool, man. I was thinking about this too, like doing this stream, put my codes in there, right? Getting some of the viewers to come and play Luna for free. Now, if it was available for you guys, that would have been cool, right? Again, the possibility of this, and they've been sitting on that couch co-op. Who knows what other features they have? But again, that makes
Duncan's
this
dying to
exciting.
say exactly what I'm going to say. So
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
do that. Go on,
Go
Duncan.
ahead.
What did I just put in the private chat? Hi there, we get back to Luna.
Good question. I have no idea.
That is true. That is true.
I think it was me mentioned about the streamers, but with
So it's your fault once again.
yes, it's always my fault. Everybody knows if anything bad goes on, it's my fault. Even if I'm not involved, it's my fault. But yeah, back to GFN. I think it's been another. I think it's another good
That's a
week.
good point.
Great week for GFN.
Yeah, for sure. Who else did we get for GFN? Just hop in. Did we get everyone?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, no, I think I was away. You guys probably covered most of it. Sorry, I had to run and do a couple of things. Yeah, free-to-play games again on GFN. Can't complain. I was really impressed with them bringing professional fishing, which isn't everybody's cup of tea, but my God, that game is popular across PC and mobile, like ridiculously popular. So it is. Be special mention for Zanki Zero at Last Beginnings. Now that I'm really into Tales of Arise, here he goes mentioning it again. These games are really becoming and standing out to me, whereas other people may not be interested. And yeah, the day-and-date releases, man. As we said, we have the privilege of being able to speak to a couple of people from NVIDIA, and we know how hard they work to get these games on. We know that they want to bring minimum 10 games every week. They want to bring as many day-and-date releases as they can. And they are actively trying to get the games on quicker. So, great week. Like, really cannot say a bad word about it. Has anyone spoken about the gift cards that popped up the other day? Did anyone mention that? You're going to be able to now gift GFN memberships.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're going to be
cool.
you can purchase 2 months, 6 months, 12 months gift cards.
When is that going live?
I believe it's live just now. Did I not? I think I dropped it in our Discord.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'll find a link. I'll drop
I'm
it in the
dropping it on
chat.
our private chat, so if you want to share.
Yeah. Oh, superb. Yeah, so that's something that didn't expect to get, but it's a very welcome addition. It's going to make us, being able to give back to the communities a lot easier. We don't have to go asking GFN for codes. We can just go out and purchase these ourselves to give back, with giveaways and stuff like that. So, yeah, no, fantastic addition. Really happy to see that there.
This is really cool.
It's also great for all these people we see in the Discord servers that are always asking to like borrow credit cards or whatever. Now their parents and whoever can just gift them gift cards.
Yeah.
So, but it'll get more people on there for sure.
I don't know if it's on their plans to do actually physical cards, as if you go, for example, into a gas station, you can buy a PlayStation, a Nintendo, and an Xbox card. But if that is the next step, I think it's going to be awesome to raise more awareness of the platform to everybody.
True. All right, so let's move it along to Google Stadia. And I'll just be real with you guys. What the hell was that Tuesday blog, man?
Even
no,
even
just no,
even
like
more than
yeah,
even more than
for
that.
real, man, for real. Like I'm losing. Like I like Stadia, you guys know that, but I'm losing my patience, man. Like I have so much ish to talk about this platform. Like, what was that blog? Number one, number two. Like, where are the games, man? Like, where are the games? People like, oh, October is gonna be the month of Stadia. Really? I mean, like, okay. I mean,
That the first Stadia blog that we've had no games announced.
no game announcement, no free to
Or
play
what
week.
what about that email they sent out like what Thursday talking about family stuff when their family stuff doesn't really work? They were just trying to talk
Okay,
back to Luna. I mean,
I'm glad you brought that
that
up.
was that
Chief,
was like
let
it
me
looked the
just.
email looked pretty, but it was just trash because it doesn't work.
And
Unfortunately, Chief,
go
it's
ahead.
not the very first blog post that doesn't have any new game.
Announcement.
That's correct. I think there's been three. I
Unfortunately.
think there's been three now, if I remember correctly.
Mike.
But hey, gotta have the truth, right?
So
Just hope it's not more frequent.
where did Duncan go? Speaking of which,
I
He's-
don't
he's
know
had
if you
to
want to
step
talk
away.
about Stadia.
Speaking of
okay,
which,
okay,
I gotta
okay.
drop off, but you guys have fun talking about all this stuff. I got somewhere I
Take
gotta
care,
be
bud.
after this, but it's great being back, guys.
For sure, for
Hopefully I'll be
sure.
back next week.
Cool.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right.
All right,
It's
guys,
good
have a good
seeing
one.
you, man. All right, take
Bye,
care.
Ben.
All right, but realistically speaking, guys, the blog post wasn't the best, right? And then they had a game, Chorus, that was announced. Again, we don't know who is responsible for the announcement. We know the Miss Cyberpunk's announcement, Judgment Remastered last year's announcement. It came later on, right? Again, the putting your logo in these titles are something we've talked about here. But a game like Chorus was announced. Couldn't they postpone if they didn't have much to say on Tuesday? We've seen them postpone their Tuesday announcement to Thursday and announce Chorus. I felt like that would have made some noise. Hey, this is why and they've done this before. This is why we decided to not announce it on Tuesday because this game's coming, and so we held the announcement for it, right? I don't know. It's just it's sad because we talk about GFN. We talked about like how slow the release was, but you see them ramping. Everyone seems to be ramping things up, except from this platform. And I'm not trying to bash it, but it's just like, yo, what is happening here? So
Did
just
Stadia actually say anything about Chorus at all?
I think they put an announcement on the YouTube channel of the video of it. But
Yeah.
that's it. Like nothing, no blog, nothing.
So there's the thing as well, and I mentioned this before we went on there. Insult to injury, the trailer. It's the full length, press release trailer that's just came out. Right at the very end of the trailer, it's only a Stadia logo, no other logos. Pre-order now. I thought, oh, I'll go and get a wee clip of that for this week's recap. Let everyone know how much it's going to cost. It's not fucking on there, man. Like, why are we releasing a video saying pre-order now and the fucking damn thing isn't there? Like, what are they doing? What are they doing? It's just trip themselves up at every bloody opportunity. It's becoming ridiculous. It seriously is. I'm getting so frustrated. They're the only fully cloud-based platform. They can't even commandeer between, the company's offices to get a blog post out that isn't absolutely dreadful. And, and communicate with this game's releasing. Let's do something. This is a big game. Let's get the pre-order up. No, let's release a trailer that says pre-order, but we'll not put the pre-order on our store. Someone's got to waken the hell up in that department, by the way. It's utterly ridiculous. Like,
We know when pre-orders go live because we normally know on the morning way before the Stadia blog goes up when the pre-orders or new games and stuff are arrived. And that's something else that's always bugged me about Stadia is that they can't control their own messaging. So
Yep.
the fact that the pre-order wasn't there on the day or the morning meant it was never coming.
Do you, oh, dang it. Do you know what's great though when it comes to like, okay, for instance, right? We have all these questions, right? It would be nice if we can just like be like, yo, Stadia Press, Stadia team, we have these issues, right? What's going on? Who, you know, the good thing with GFN is we can have those conversations. I hope Luna eventually gets there, but it'll be so cool to just have someone to answer some of these. Like realistically speaking, how many people are
Ace,
working?
what do you mean we can have those conversations with GFN, just to make clear to everybody?
Yeah, I have direct contact with people at GFN, right? If I have a question, I can just DM them, be like, yo, we're expecting this game. This game is not here. What the hell is going on? Right? Or if
Yeah.
they
I was just trying to make it clear that
Clear.
for people on the chat,
Yeah.
not that you please don't go on GFN. Well, you can go on GFN Twitter, or you can go on their mailbox. But we as content creators, we have our community, and if you have any questions, bring us, and we have contacts on GFN, and we try to get the reply as soon as possible as well.
Yeah. But again, like I would like to know who is running things at Google Stadia. Why are number one, why do they miss the two's announcement? I was talking to Rock, we had him on here the other day, and he was just saying how dreadful his Tuesday shows are sometimes because the inconsistency of getting, he puts on the show to spread the good news about the Stadia news and things that are coming, and it's so inconsistent that like the show doesn't do as well as he's hoping for it to go. So who is responsible for that, right? How many people are actually working at Google Stadia right now? Like what is going on? Like I have a million questions and no one to answer those questions, and I'm a content creator and it's getting really frustrating. I can't imagine like a consumer who this is the only platform, how frustrating this is for them. Like I'm my patience is seriously running out for this platform. And that's all I
Just to
can
put that
say.
in context, there's only two of the kind of big bundle of cloud services that we cover that don't talk to us. One is Stadia, and the other is Xbox, because we're still small fry when it comes to Xbox and cloud gaming. We're not there yet for them to talk to us. But in the 2 years of Stadia's launch, we've had one email from them and radio silence from that point forward. Whereas
Yeah.
GeForce Now, Maximum Settings, Boosteroid, Air GPU, all of the other services we have regular contact with and can ask those direct questions. So that's one of our biggest frustrations with Stadia, is that they just don't seem to want to talk to any of us.
Yeah. So
can I play devil's advocate here?
Sure.
So basically, let's say Stadia decided, no, I don't want this approach of talking to YouTube content creators because it's not beneficial for me. The YouTube video game sphere hates Stadia, so I'm not gonna foster creating a community on YouTube. I rather foster my community on Reddit, on Discord, and I don't care about the YouTube content creators. That could be a strategy that they took. I don't know if that's a good strategy. I don't know if that's the strategy they took. I'm just mentioning that maybe that's why we see this approach.
Can I say something real quick? They should rebrand the name of Google Stadia then, because Stadia, from if you watch the interview, is supposed to be like for stadium, right? YouTube was a big push and a big key for this platform, right? Connecting gamers and content creators. That was the original plan for this platform. So if they're like, all right, this is not working, then maybe look at rebranding and changing focus of what this platform actually is, because they're missing the mark with that.
surprise, we are winding down Stadia Games and Entertainment. That's anyway. Muting.
Duncan, go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
What do you want me to talk about? I was just going to reply to the audience. I said, have you actually checked out Reddit recently? It's an absolute interesting sphere at this moment in time. There is the two camps are really drawn out there. The Stadia is fine and dandy, and Stadia, what the blank is going on. So it's. And there's no real interaction from Stadia there either. There just doesn't seem to be any interaction at all.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting because, you know, we make videos and I try to post it on there to bring some hype to this platform. And it's so crazy because people bash my videos. This is not accurate. Stadia can perform. I'm like, this is a Stadia Reddit, right? Like, you guys supposed to be excited for this platform. Stadia is not capable of, like, there's a lot of Stadia bashes and haters on Twitter right now, Reddit, compared to how it used to be before. I think people, anyway, I'm not going to say more about this, but anyone else hop
on. Chris makes a very good point in the chat. I've said this on occasion before. It feels like Stadia is run by engineers rather than gamers. You know, I've got the receipts if you want to, you know, go down that road. I've said that many times. That is exactly what it feels like because the tech is fantastic. What they're doing with the features and everything are superb, but they are not utilising it in the proper way that a gaming company should. They honestly... I made a joke about the Stadia offices, and like it's just like a trash can full of crumpled up pieces of paper, and there's a massive scoreboard on the wall that reads like 1,000 to Team Red and like 1,000 something to Team Blue, because it feels like they do fuck all else in there on a daily basis because they can't even communicate a blog post or a game releasing or get a pre-order up in their store. And it's just so disappointing. It's just extremely disappointing. You sort of felt like they had a bit of a downward spiral there at the beginning of the year. Things seem to be changing. We see a lot of job positions, etc., popping up. But nothing. Just nothing. And it's in this day and age, consumers do not want to be ignored. Consumers want as much information as possible at any given time. But Stadia aren't offering that, so they aren't, and it's just disappointing, guys. But they need to do more. Yeah, I don't think this is a time for slow playing a gaming company. Oh yeah, the games will come. Let's just enjoy what we have. If you don't have it, if you've never had it, you know, you can't lose it. Or something stupid like that you always see online. No, it's not good enough because these other companies are going to end up swallowing Stadia up. One, because they have exclusives and Xbox. Luna, because of their reach and the millions of potential people that they can reach with one email that gets sent out when they finally come. GFN already has 10 million members. It's unknown how many are paid and free playing Fortnite. But if they want to survive, I don't think slow playing is the way to go. You need content, and they aren't bringing the content, and they aren't communicating what content is going to be coming. And it just doesn't leave a very good taste in the mouth, and it's a shame. Yeah. Is all I can say. It's a shame.
Yeah. Well, this blog post this week infuriated me, basically. It's like, we have no news because it would not be a blip on any other platform, that news of this week. If I was doing that blog post for this week for Stadia, here is suggestions. This is me being serious here. I'm going to put my serious hat on here. And why I know what Marchie's answer is to this, but I'm just going to ignore that one. Why are they not hyping up FIFA coming next week? FIFA is an absolutely massive game, and it is coming next week. Coming next week, we have FIFA, but this week you can check out these things here. Oh, and from our community this week, which PlayStation are doing as well, because they're pushing their player base every week on a Friday. Here is a state share of Hitman 3. Here is a state share of Humankind. What's your score this week for or whatever the point system is in them games? Get some more things there, because that blog post was, frankly, for me, that was an embarrassment for if you're wanting to be counted as a serious platform. My DMs were lighting up laughing about that blog post, and I think I'm not going to say what some people were saying, but there is so much good in the on Stadia, and they just need to go out there and actually celebrate it, because there's so much they can actually do to actually get people excited there. FIFA, pre-order FIFA, and you can get it 3 days early, because there's so much going on.
Yeah. It's again pacing, right? This you see them like drop. Okay, we know next week pro games are coming, so that's good news for them, hopefully, right? But they got to pace things better. For them to not have an announcement, these things going on for Stadia, like you were saying, FIFA, like Chorus. I mean, Chorus came out this week. It's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But obviously, they're not doing a good job, and they need to. You know what? I think Google Stadia is just hanging on by a thread. Honestly speaking, I think people still don't know what this platform is, who works there, and they're just trying their best to keep it going. That's what I think.
The job descriptions kind of give something away, and it really ties into what Chris is saying. And I've said this for a long time. They don't have a product leader, and they've been struggling to get one. It's run by engineers. The features are half-baked. They're really good on paper, but they're really bad at implementation. And that last 10% that needed to just finish the execution, couch co-op, crowd play, that is the pinnacle of the screw-up in my side. When we heard about crowd choice and that kind of, I've forgotten what it was called, the co-op for Stadia, couch co-op, what Luna's dropped is exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Not, by the way, you have to own the game to be invited to this game. What the hell is the point of that? That is not multiplayer couch co-op. Couch co-op is your mate comes round, he joins your game. He's not gone out and bought the game to come and sit in your place and play it with you. That's not couch co-op. Yeah. So I really was disappointed at that. And Stadia is just dropping the ball. They're losing this ground on all these fantastic features that they had. Everybody else is doing them better, and it's just a matter of time before Stadia's forgotten. So they really need to sort that out, unless they are just winding down, and this is them slowly winding down without telling us that that's the case. But we can hope that's not, because as we said, they have the best streaming tech. They just need to do something about it.
Yeah.
But I feel that we're going to run out of time.
Yeah. So just real quick, we've always talked about, how Microsoft and Sadell and Phil Spencer have that relationship, and how that makes a huge difference, right? And Amazon and whoever who's responsible for the game department, how they see gaming as an essential part of Amazon, right? So this is I always come back to this. So this is Sander Pasha, who is the CEO of Google right now.
Good morning, everyone.
And this is how he kicks off
it's
GDC.
Great to be here. Thank you all for joining us. I suppose I should start out with a confession. I'm actually not a big gamer, though I do play FIFA 19 quite a bit and really enjoy how immersive it is. I also play Ashes cricket quite a bit. And for those of you who are wondering what cricket is.
So we've talked about like engineers running things, and I mean, you can tell I don't know how serious Google is with just gaming as a whole, right? They see the market, they know it has potential, but I don't know like how committed they are. And I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of
February
red
1st,
flags.
2020. That answers how committed they are when they put it that winding down Stadia games and entertainment. Talking about Google level, right?
Yeah.
That
I'm going to
winding
bring it
down
up.
answers you on how committed they are on gaming.
But wasn't there an interview with Phil saying about a game that was ported for Stadia, and he goes, "I haven't actually played that yet," and it was the games company that he was talking to. It was their game that was ported to Stadia. He's like, "Oh, I haven't got around to trying that on Stadia yet," and it's like, how can you not be in an interview without trying your own game on your own platform? How did that situation ever occur? So it does seem like it's just not been on their radar very much, but hopefully they can turn this around. But it's just so frustrating on every media front when Stadia is concerned.
So this might come across as we hate Stadia. I'm sick of this. I don't hate it. I'm just frustrated. And these decisions that we keep seeing them make it just lights fuel to the fire pretty much. And I think what is getting to me again, them missing 2K, still really salty about that. But like Judgment not coming, them missing Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just like what's happening, guys? Like what's
Judgment
happening?
yesterday? Lost Judgment?
Judgment released, not on Stadia.
No, yeah, Judgment just released.
I don't know, man. Anyway, I don't want to be like bashes
I don't
of
know
this
if
platform.
you
It's
have
just
a
frustrating.
few other minutes. I can
Yeah.
go on a tangent here. I swear, I try to be short.
Sure.
I'll be as short as possible. I stopped creating content for about 2 months because I had, first of all, life was happening, etc. But I wasn't feeling anymore. If you guys don't know, everybody here on the chat, the 20-something people that are here on the chat, plus my fellow panel members here, my channel was born named Stadia Player 1 because I was in love with the tech of cloud gaming when it announced it. That made me create a YouTube channel to talk about it. Then I rebranded to Eddie Player 1 because I want to play PlayStation games together with it. Specifically, The Last of Us Part 2, I wanted to play on the stream. But then, here's what happened. There were a lot of games that were being hyped, and I wanted to play those games, and the games were not coming to Stadia. And I didn't own the console. I own a PlayStation 4. I was fortunate enough to get a next-gen console with a Series S right now. But here was the thing. I was always asking, hey, bring this game to Stadia. Hey, bring this game to Stadia. And then I realized, if I am a gamer, if I really love the game, I should go where the game is. I should not be praying so much for a platform saying, hey, bring your game here, bring your game here.
Yeah.
Bro, the game it's on my reach. It's not that I cannot play.
Yeah.
It's either on my reach on my old console, my old PS4, or it's in my reach via GFN. Other than that, I said the level that the community around Stadia was fanboying of, as you said, your show is being taped as just throwing bash at a Stadia.
Yeah,
because you guys talk the truth, and there were some people on the community that you cannot talk bad things about Stadia,
which
that's
is
why
absolutely
I said,
ridiculous. Yeah,
that's when I said, all right, thank you very much, Stadia community. I'm out.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the last time ever. I never addressed the situation. This is probably the last time I'm going to be talking about Stadia because right now I just care about the games. If the games are around, I'm playing the game. If it's on GFN, I'm playing on GFN. If it's As I said, I am fortunate enough to have a Series S. I know that's not everybody that has a Series S. I don't have a PlayStation 5. Like, if it wasn't for GeForce Now, I could not play Kina.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
right now, there's no PS5 exclusive that makes me play or buy a PS5 right now.
Death Loop.
It doesn't make me
I'm
buy
joking.
a PS Now. No, but Deathloop is a great game, but here's the deal.
Yeah.
Play it on Shadow.
My backlog is so huge that
Yeah, you're right.
Deathloop is not going to be the game that's going to make me buy a PS5. We know God of War is going to be it.
Sure.
But before God of War, there's no reason for me to buy a PS5.
Yeah.
And
I
then
still think that game's coming to PC, so there's still no reason to buy a PS5.
Eventually, not.
eventually,
Yeah.
when it comes to PC, we'll see. But Stadia community, thank you very much for the time we were around. But the way the things are shaping,
Yeah.
I got tired and I moved on.
I hear you, and thank you for sharing all of that, Eddie. And I do have to say, you're not the first one. You know, we're known as the channel that bashes Stadia. We can't have honest discussion. Yeah. But it's quite interesting. I've talked to some people, and like we seriously, and the Cloudy too. It's seen as like outcast. It's so interesting because we cover the platform. But just like this, they'll see this conversation about Google Stadia as something that's negative. Is positive feedback. It's not. It's critiquing. It's needed, right? We give GFN hell when they took all the games down. We were on here preaching about that. How many shadow bashing videos did we make, right? We had podcast bashing shadow, right? This is how companies learn. This is how they improve. And without conversations like this, Stadia is going to continue doing what it's doing. And like, realistically speaking, it's so interesting how you look at the people running the Stadia socials. They cater to those creators that kiss their ass. I'm just going to be 100% blunt to you guys. They do. Stadia will not talk to us, but they talk to them. Right? And so you speak highly about Google Stadia, they're going to respond to you. They're going to befriend you. But you speak negatively about them, it's like a little cult. And I'm going to be serious. It's like a little cult. Realistically speaking, a company cannot get better and improve with that mindset. If y'all want Stadia to keep doing what they're doing, keep encouraging that. Again, we speak highly of GFN here because I can tell you how many conversations we have with them, and they're like, keep it real. We are like, we don't want to showcase this because it's going to make you guys look back. They're like, no, say that, keep it real. And that is why they keep improving. But y'all, if you guys want to keep sitting there babying this platform, it's going to just keep doing what it's doing. If you guys are happy with that, kudos to you. But I'm not. So that's why people on here are speaking out about it. So call us what you want, but that is just the realness of things. So anyone else before we move on?
Jerry.
And Jerry, you can give
I've
us your
just been
opinion
chilling.
Stadia in less than a minute because we've got 4
Less
minutes.
than a
for
minute,
Xcloud.
right? I've just been watching you guys go for it. I mean, everybody's saying the same stuff. I would say a big change I've seen is I'm no longer attacked for most of my any Stadia videos. And that says something. A lot of people that and I say attack, these people who have made comments I've actually talked to as well in messages, and I'm starting to get messages from people that were like, your channel is fake, you suck, Stadia's the best, the game's the best no matter what you compare it to, and it's like, that's just not true. Yeah. But now these people are saying, you know what? I'm sorry, like I'm done. Like I'm almost done. Or like you, Ace, NBA 2K didn't come. Yeah. Or what about next year when it's looking like Madden and FIFA's not coming? Like, yeah, of course, they can say, you don't know that, GDP. We haven't heard anything. Yeah, you're darn right. We haven't heard anything because guess what? Madden and FIFA is probably not coming next year. We got our 5 EA games. You know, we lost F1 2021 this year. GDP, GT Moto,
Yeah.
Moto GP, 21. Another release we had before, and it's been a snowball effect. And if you step back and look at things objectively, Stadia has been slowing down since their last Connect last year, or their little shows that they would do for us that we'd get hyped about and then be disappointed. And it has been a slow gear down since. And 2022 looks really bad as well.
Jerry,
it doesn't
just
look good.
Just going to ask you a question here. I'm going to be the Eddie here and be the devil's advocate. There will be people out there saying that the number of games is at the same pace as last year.
Bro, you remember? Sorry, let me jump on it. Remember when we had this conversation? We said, how would we know at this time if Stadia is looking good, is slowing down? And we mentioned some things, right? Would they keep holding connects? Would they, if something we mentioned, if these games get sequels, right? Yes, it might be on pace, but look at the games that are getting sequels and not getting sequels. That should be really concerning. Missing 2K, missing Judgment, missing Guardians of the Galaxy, all these games that we potentially got last year not coming to this platform this year. That should post some red flags to you guys. If it doesn't, man, I don't know.
And I think we've talked about before how like it doesn't matter until it's your game, right? Like you didn't care that much when I was talking about F1 2021 in the summer, but you sure cared when it happened to 2K. And the thing is that just happens with everybody as it goes. And to be honest, me and Duncan still have time. We said 6 to 12 months till a rebrand or a big change or a big vision change happen with you. That's March of next year. And the way that I continue to see the slowdown, that's what's slowly been happening for a 6 to 12 month plan. So I think Chariot Man Gaming said it earlier. What's really frustrating is the potential of Stadia is and was there, but it's never been capitalized on. The communication continues to be horrible. I know I've reached out to Stadia a ton, as you guys have, with no response. At least you got one email. It's really bad. And a lot of people that have been real hardcore Stadia fans are now starting to talk to me about, well, what's coming in 2022? What's coming in? When you're 2 years into a new business, that's when your ramp up should be happening. We shouldn't be seeing less games, less communications, and less shows right now. We should be seeing a lot more. And why was I more excited about Stadia at this time last year than now? Because it's not doing well. And like you said, if you keep babying it, it'll stay the same. And it may already be too late. I don't know if Google's going to spend the money that it's really going to take to bring Stadia back to a level they would want it to get to.
Yeah. What they showed me this week is that they care a little bit. Again, I think they respond this week to the email of the family games that are available on the platform. To me, makes sense because Amazon released their stuff 2 weeks ago. So that shows me they're watching the competition when they kind of care about what's going on. And
they're watching it, but they're not making any moves to show, exactly. And to Eddie's point earlier about like he was devil's advocate saying, maybe they don't want to talk to YouTubers, maybe they want to shut down conversation because it's too negative. Well, in 2013, when Xbox almost failed, guess what they did? They opened up a forum, a page to take all the feedback from all the fans, and they actually started acting on all of that, negative and positive, and look at where Xbox is now.
Where they are now.
Because of that. They didn't run and hide and say, we don't want to hear it all. They came out and said, tell us everything.
There you go. GFN, again, people fail to realize. People like, GFN's the darling of cloud gaming right now. Everyone praises them. Everyone praises them because they're doing exactly what Microsoft did. Again, easy to approach, easy to contact, listening, taking feedback, making changes, and you're seeing it day in, day out. That is the difference. We were not saying this
8 months ago when loads of stuff was getting removed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They got the same. The launch wasn't perfect, guys, but they cleaned up really good. Google Stadia, I'm sorry, I can't say the same. Ever since Google Stadia started cleaning up at the end of last year, but then started off this year with some ish, man. But anyway, here goes Google Stadia taking up another hour of the podcast. Great stuff, guys.
Just to go on that, it's because we're passionate about it and we want it to do well. And I think this doesn't actually come across that. It's just going to be our ears are just being negative again. But it is because we wanted to do it well. I want to be able to jump off all the different platforms. I want to play games where they play best, and I want Stadia to be leaps and bounds ahead of GFN, so GFN will catch up, and because GFN have caught up, Stadia is going to improve, then Xbox will improve. Competition is good for everybody.
Absolutely. Agreed. So just to wrap up Xbox Cloud Gaming news, some games released for the platform, Subnautica, and 2 or 3 other games. Check it out. We did videos on it. Nothing much. I think this conversation was needed today. So I'm glad it happened. And for those of you guys, rewatch this back because I feel like a lot of truth was said here, right? Sorry we didn't cover Xbox Cloud Gaming, but you guys can watch GTP's news video, Duncan's Cloudy Watch Hours to get caught up in the news, and recap will be coming tomorrow to catch you guys up. But again, I feel like these conversations today about this platform needed to happen. Anyone else have anything to say about Google Stadia, Xbox Cloud Gaming?
Just like to say Xbox Cloud Gaming are killing it right now. So GeForce Now, credit where credit's due, but also Xbox Cloud.
Would you say
It's
they're
available on
killing it?
consoles now.
Okay.
It's as well as the quite good games that are being dropped week on being cloud enabled. So I think they're making a lot bigger moves now, and the fact that they're opening up cloud to, well, it's everybody. It's on PC now. It's now on console. There's not many places that you can't play Xbox Cloud Gaming now, and that's can't be said for quite a lot of the other platforms.
True. I wouldn't say they're killing it. They were killing it, but I feel like lately Xbox have took the foot off the pedal a little bit. Maybe gearing up for this, fall with first and but yeah, I would say right now GFN is killing it, man. And Luna was with the news, but they took the foot off the pedal too.
The thing is, GFN brings a lot of games every week, and this was a very strong week with day and date, free to play, and the console exclusive. Maybe it wasn't the best week for Xcloud, but Xcloud is still killing it with the Game Pass games coming day and date and hitting the Xcloud as well. To this day, I still play Hades a lot.
Yeah.
And I play it on my mobile device, and I have a great time playing it.
True. It's a good game. Good selection of games. But anyone else, man? I don't know.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say about Xbox. We know what's coming with Xbox. Next couple of weeks are going to be pretty decent enough for Xbox Cloud. You've got Lemnis Gate, I think, is coming to Cloud. It was mentioned before. Then you're into Back for Blood. Then it's really going to start pushing. Then you've got Forza on the horizon, Football Manager. You've got Halo. You have got a fair number of games in the next couple of
hopefully Flight Simulator too.
Yeah.
Right. So
no
that's
much
something I'd
keyboard
like to
support.
second. Is that I just want to second quickly. I know there's a problem with mouse and keyboard support, but the fact that we do know what's coming with Xbox Cloud Gaming, they give us a 2-week advance on everything that they're dropping. So there's not usually any secrets about what's coming. So it makes our lives a lot easier for certain.
True. All right, we are cutting it on time. And again, sorry if the Stadia coverage took longer than it should. We did want to cover Xbox Cloud Gaming. Again, check out all these awesome guys here who covered it. And recap is going to be coming next week. But I just want to leave space for members of this panel to just let you guys know where you can find them because they all make awesome content. And again, Eddie, shout outs to you coming back. Thank you for reminding us about that, Duncan. But yeah, you took a little break. Good to have you back. And I know you have some life stuff going on. So it's cool to see you still kicking it, man, as a content creator. So good stuff, and good to have you on here for sure.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I am back creating content every Thursday. You can find me live streaming at Thursdays night on GFN Thursdays as well, streaming one of the games from GFN. The other day of the week is the schedule is still being built right now, but follow me on Twitter and follow me on TikTok. Daddy Player One on TikTok as well.
Nice. Yeah, TikTok. Good stuff. Good stuff. TikTok is great, man. We had Mark on there, and the dude is doing pretty well on TikTok now. So, Eddie, that might be your next avenue, man. You know, so
I have a great time watching a lot of stuff there, and gives me
fun.
it gives inspiration for doing other stuff.
Yeah, good stuff, man. GTP, sir, what do you do? Where can people find you?
Freaking TikTok stole Mark.
They stole
We had him.
we had him.
Game Deck Planet, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and make sure you find your way to the Discord. Next week there will be 2 giveaways: Hot Wheels Unleashed and GFN membership. So you'll be able to, because that's supported on there, so you'll be able to play or do that. We did PS Now and Game Pass last week. So getting into the fall gaming season, there's going to be a lot of stuff like that happening.
Nice. Cool. And Duncan, what do you do, sir? And where can people find you?
You can find me at Cloudy with Games on YouTube, and if you like me getting shouted at, which I think a lot of people do, you should check out our GFN Thursday show where Kelly just and just shouts at me. And we are doing a giveaway on Thursday as well, so check out that. Ooh, mysterious tease at the end.
Nice. We'll be there. Check that out. Always, Duncan. Good to have you on here, dude. Chief Monkey, do you have anything you guys want to add or plug?
CGX VR.
CGX VR. If you guys are into VR cloud gaming, check that out. Monkey, you?
That's giving me a sore head. I don't want to talk about it.
CGX VR. Oh man, you guys have definitely put in work there, so appreciate that for sure.
No, thanks for another great week. Chat was great. It's been a pleasure as always, folks. Eddie, great to see you back, mate. First ever streamer I watched live on YouTube was Eddie Player One.
Thanks,
So,
Jet.
There you
Thanks,
go.
Hell Monkey.
Awesome stuff. Again, guys, appreciate you guys coming here watching. We'll be back next Saturday, Tuesday at 2 p.m. And yeah, thank you guys for participating in the poll. GFN took it this week. We'll check back with you guys next week. All right, till next time. Peace out, y'all.